Alright, welcome everybody. This is going to be my first LP on this channel. My name is Viridian Woods here, and I'm going to be recording some Pokemon Firered. This is an emulator, by the way, so I'm trying to see how things get working with this, and it seems pretty generic doing Firered, considering a lot of other people have started it, but since I'm mainly going to be doing a lot of Pokemon on my channel, might as well start off with Region 1, Kanto. Let's get started. And we shouldn't have to worry about that. And here's the basic introductions. I already know all this though. Played the game before. And our first introduction here with Professor Oak. Hello there, glad to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People affectionately refer to me as the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited far and wide by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for battling. As for myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. But first, tell me a little about yourself. Now tell me, are you a boy or are you a girl? I'm a boy. Let's begin with your name. What is it? My name for this adventure is going to be... Blaziken Blazer obviously does not fit. Because everybody else's names in this game are capital letters, I'm going to name my character Blaze. Yes, my name is Blaze. There we go. Then, I'm going to give Garrett here a new nickname, and I'm going to nickname him off of my good friend Just Pure One, who I'm going to be doing quite a few recordings with in the future. Over... actually, Just Pure. It'll work. And then I'm also going to be doing some recordings with Mopsis2777, if you've seen some of him on there. We'll see how that goes, but as of right now, my rival for this game is going to be Viridian, aka Just Pure One. Alright, and we're about to jump into the game now. I'm going to try and skip past as many of these introduction scenes as I can, just get right back into the action here. So, yeah. As of right now, I'm going to be starting off my channel here with Firered. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do afterwards, but my channel isn't entirely going to have to be Pokemon. There's going to be quite a few other games and such that I'm going to play. It's going to be based around Pokemon. And here we're starting off with getting our starter from Professor Oak. Now, considering my channel's name being Blaziken Blazer, and Blaziken's a fire type starter, you can kind of tell what my favorite type is for most of these games. On occasion, with more of the new recent generations, I tend to lean towards the new water types, but for most of these earlier games, I enjoy fire types a lot more. So on that regard, you can tell that my first starter in this game is going to be Charmander. So, yeah, that ought to be fun. I mean, Charmander does seem like the one that everybody tends to pick, but that's not necessarily the case these days. I mean, there's a lot of people that pick Squirtle just to counter Charmander. In fact, a lot of the people that I know ended up picking Squirtle just so they can counter Charmander and began to love it. Like, their childhood memories revolve around Squirtle because they remember they could beat everybody else. Not necessarily because of what Blastoise is, but because how powerful he is against everybody else. It's not necessarily the strength of Pokemon most people like, it's just the memory of using it, and the reason why they used it. And here's the first rival battle right here, which I've actually had issues with in the past, where I don't necessarily win all the time against a Squirtle here. But I'll probably end up alright. And here, just scratch all day, every day. And he's gonna continue to Tail Whip for a little while, which could end up being a bad thing for me. Depends whether or not he uses Tail Whip for quite a few turns, which he is, so things are looking up. If he does it one or two more turns, I should be fine. But he's not. I think I'm still gonna win. Alright. First rival battle, he's done. So yeah. And also I'm not one to nickname a lot of my Pokemon here. So, sorry about that. If you wanted some interesting nicknames, it's not going to happen too often here. I might have a few series that I end up doing that I'll let you guys nickname them in the chat there afterwards in the comments, so you can go ahead and do that. However, I'm not the best at making nicknames myself. And now we're about to go off and head out into the world here. Moving on up to Route 1. After this girl tells us how to open, the menu. Okay. Route 1, and the first Pokemon that I will find on my Pokemon adventure here in my first Pokemon series is going to be Rattata. And I have no interest in catching Rattata, so I'm going to wait a little while, because I don't think you guys really want to see me grinding for a while on here. So I'm just going to make my way over to get the Paracel from Viridian City, deliver that to Professor Oak, and officially continue the journey as opposed to this little quest we're doing. So I'm not exactly sure how long I'm going to keep these videos, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'll probably keep them around 15 to 20 minutes, but on occasion I just might not really care that much, and I might do anything from half an hour to an hour. So it all depends. You guys will obviously know by the time I post it, but yeah. And usually, from the way things are going, I'm going to end up finishing a series before I start posting something else. However, that'll count mainly for single-player things. If I start some multiplayer, I'll probably keep that going while I'm doing a lot of these series. So, sorry about all the information here in the first episode, but I'm just introducing everything as it's the first episode going up on my channel, if anything. And now we are getting the Pokedex here, and there we go. Oak's Paracel. We're also going to be getting Pokeballs there with it. Here's our rival there. And in case you're wondering, I'm not going to fill in the Pokedex. I'm not going for catching everything. I'm just going to be completing the game and maybe doing some after-story things. It just depends how much you guys like the series. And it also depends whether or not you guys see this before I get to that point. I don't know. I'll be recording quite a bit in advance. That way I have extra content for you guys. And I'm not exactly sure how the schedule is going to be with me recording. I might do it like once a week. I might just throw them in whenever I have time. I'm not quite sure, but as of right now I don't really have any good schedule up. Alright, and now we've got some Pokeballs on our Pokedex, and now we can officially start catching Pokemon and starting our journey. And we're continuing to move on to go back to Route 1. I don't really care about the town map over there. I know my way around the region already. I'll get this potion over here from this guy that's working at the Pokemon Mart. Yeah, it is in Viridian City. Alright. And now we're going to make our way towards the forest, but not before we get attacked by a Pidgey. And then we are going to make our way back to Viridian City and go see that old man that's waiting up around. But, once again, not before we run to another Rattata. To be perfectly honest, I am not exactly sure what I'm going to have for my team in the long run already. I've got a few ideas at the beginning here. But before I do that, I'm going to see if I can buy some more Pokeballs here at the Mart before I start catching anything around here. As of right now, I've got about maybe 2-3 team members figured out. I have 2, well, but I'm not sure about the 3rd. I'm going to spend all my money on Pokeballs because I'm not really too worried about dying early on here. I'll get money in the forest to buy more potions if I need it. And there's antidotes in there, so 1 second, guys. Alright, And we're back. Sorry about that delay there, I just had to go real quick for something. And now we can continue the adventure here. Now I've got those Pokeballs, I can start catching some of the Pokemon I had in mind for that. So, I think the first Pokemon I want to catch, which I'm assuming just about all of you can pretty much tell what it is by the fact that I'm back down here, and I said I didn't want a Rattata, is a Pidgeot. I'm going to get a Pidgey for a Pidgeot later in the game. I already do have Charizard that I'm eventually going to get, but I still would like to use a Pidgey. So, ooh, crit. There we go. Should be an easy catch. Pokeball. Yeah, done. Alright, that's my first team member there. Again, I don't really like nicknaming. So that's going to be my first team member for a while. I'm not really going to get too many others until quite a bit later. So, it's just going to be me and the Charmander and the Pidgey for a while. And now we're going to learn about catching Pokemon, even though I already have. And we're going to get the TGTV after this. So, because not many people really want to see this battle, I'm going to speed past it. Or attempt to speed past it, but it doesn't really go that fast either way. There we go. Got the TV. And I could go around to get that item on the left, but I don't really think I need to. Route 2, here we go. Making our way towards the Viridian Forest here. And then we get to fight lots and lots of Weedles and Caterpies. But that's okay. Now the only thing I'm slightly worried about here in this, and where we are now, is I don't have any antidotes, and after this I won't have anything good to fight Brock with, because both Pidgey and Charmander are weak to him, so the only hope I really have is training up my Charmander high enough for him to get Metal Claw. And even then it still might be difficult. So in this case I will kill any wild encounters I find along the way. And I'll battle as many trainers as I can. Well, along the main path, I'm not going to stray too far for extra trainers, but yeah, I'll probably have to go back and heal quite a bit, considering I only have one potion, but oh well. I'm going to learn Ember really soon anyway. That'll help things out quite a bit. And then Pidgey will need to learn Gust pretty soon for him to be really useful. At least in the forest. Alright, so I'm thinking I'm gonna... Oh, Pidgey's not healed. Whoops. Alright, I'll fight this first bug trainer, I'll go heal then. And he has a Weedle. Wonderful. Hopefully I don't get poisoned. And I should be able to take him out without too much effort. And next turn, the turn after next turn, I'll be able to take him out. And then, once he's taken out, should be level 7, and I can't quite remember when I learned Ember. We'll have to see. As of right now, he's outspeeding me, but he's not going to be able to do anything, because he's just using String Shot. Now, hopefully he doesn't have another Weedle, otherwise, well, then we might have some issues with poison. Ember, there we go. Shouldn't have an issue now. Now I can just burn through this Caterpie that's coming up here, and then get to level 8, and start cruising along. And almost one shot. Scratch to finish him off. Alright, and this video's past 15 minutes, so I'm gonna go heal, and then I'm gonna cut it. Until next episode, then. Alright, we're starting to make some money back, so we can actually get some more potions. Now, to be perfectly honest, I find Gen 1, at least the Elite 4, to be one of the most difficult Elite 4s. So, I might be struggling a little bit throughout this adventure, but my goal throughout this is to be able to go to the Elite 4 without using legendaries, and at least trying to beat the Elite 4 first attempt, but I'm not exactly sure. Nowadays, I haven't had as many issues, but I used to have a really horrible time. And even then, the hardest one that I find in the Elite 4 to beat is Lorelei. I don't know why. I pretty much always use Charizard. Fighting the fire against, using my fire type against her ice type should be easy, except for that. The fact that she has that Dugong and that Lapras and the Slowbro and all that, so it causes some issues, but that's besides the point. It's going to be a while before we even get to the Elite 4. In fact, it's going to be quite a few episodes, and maybe multiple recording sessions. It just depends how it goes. So, as of now, thank you everybody for watching this first episode of Pokemon Firered. And hope you enjoyed. If you liked, please like that video there, and feel free to subscribe if you like my content. And yeah, see you later, guys.